Hello everyone. In this lesson I am going to discuss about initial block. So let me explain little about this procedural block. This procedural block I have already covered this one in one of my previous lesson. So what is this procedural block? There are two type of procedural blocks are there in Verilog. One is always and another is initial. And this Verilog restricts all behavioral statements to be enclosed in procedural block. In a procedural block, all the variable means suppose if I want any kind of declaration of variables inside always or inside initial block, then that variable has to be on the left side. Okay, and the variable that will be on the left side has to be declared as range. Okay, and the operand in RHS or right hand side, it can be range or it can be wire. For example, suppose this is a always block. Okay, always at the some sensitivity list. Then whatever I write here, so let's say I wrote x equal to y plus z. So this x has to be range, and this y or z, this y variable and z variable, it can be range or it can be wire type. Okay, the same goes for initial block. If I write initial here, then this left hand part, sorry, this y plus z, so this left hand part has to be range, and then this right hand part, this y and z variable, it can be any variable, it can be either range or it can be wire. So this always and initial are called procedural block. Okay, and the procedural block contain one or more statements. So inside the always or inside initial block, you can have one or more than one statements. An assignment statement used in procedural block is called procedural assignment. For example, here I am using non-blocking assignment, or you can use blocking assignment. Okay, inside always or inside initial block, then this blocking, sorry, this non-blocking or this blocking statement, all these are called procedural assignment because this is inside the procedural block. Okay, so it can be blocking or it can be either non-blocking. Okay, so this is the initial. Okay, initial block is a procedural block that you have to remember in Verilog, and these procedural statements are specified inside this initial block. For example, see, this is the syntax. So this is the syntax of initial. So first one is the initial. Okay, this block starts with the initial keyword, this one. Okay, then begin, then end. This is the statements enclosed within begin and end. So you can have more than 1, 2 number, 3 number, 4 number of statements we can have inside this begin and end, means inside initial block. So for example, if it is initial, then x equal to y plus z. And if there is only one single statement inside this initial block, then no need to declare no need to give begin and end. It is not mandatory. Okay, this begin and end, because inside this initial I have only one statement. If there is more than one statement, then begin and end, it is necessary. Okay, and all the statements inside initial block is executed sequentially. So if there are for example, here there are 3 statements. The first, this one will be executed, then this one will be executed, then this one will be executed. So all the statement inside the initial block is executed in sequentially. The initial block executes only once. So this part, this whole part, it is executed only once. Okay, so here there is no sensitive, like for example, in case of always block, in always block what happens, always at the rate, for example here some signal, some sensitive inside the sensitivity list, some signal you have declared. So whenever there is any changes in, then this always block is activated, and whatever is written inside the always block, that is evaluated all the time when this signal inside the sensitivity list changes. But in case of initial block, what happens, this initial block, it executes only once, and when it happens, it starts at time t equal to 0 simulation time. So when you start simulating your code, at the same instant, at the same time, all these whatever is written inside the always initial block, that means the initial block is activated and all the statements are evaluated at 0 simulation time. So it executes only once, for always executes infinitely. So whenever there is a this condition satisfy, this sensitivity list condition, whatever is written inside the sensitivity list, this condition satisfies, then always this always block is activated and whatever is written inside the always block, that one is evaluated. But initial block, that you have to remember, actually sometimes during the interview they ask what is the difference between always and initial. Okay, so you have to what you have to remember is initial block executes only once and it starts at time t equal to 0, and whatever is written inside the always block, all the statements are executed sequentially. Okay, there can be more than one initial block in the stimulus, means in your code you can have more than one initial block. For example, this is inside module, you have written initial, then something you have written some statements, then you can have another initial, then some statements, you can have another initial, okay, then some statement. So you can have more than one initial block, okay, in your design. All initial block executes concurrently in arbitrary order, okay, and starting at simulation time 0. That means, for example, if you have 3 number of initial block in your design, okay, suppose this is 1, this is 2 and this is 3 number of initial block in your design, that we cannot say that this one first comes in your code, doesn't mean that first the simulator will run this one. No, all these initial block, they run independently, and it is in arbitrary fashion. It depends on the simulator. The simulator may run first this one, then this one, then this one, or the first will be this one or this one or this one. So it all depends on the simulator, okay, and not the way we have written. That we have to remember. Okay, this runs concurrently, all the initial block runs concurrently, and it depends on the simulator that which one will be evaluated first, which one will be executed first, which initial block will be executed first, if there are many initial blocks inside your design. Okay, then the only way to synchronize are hash delays and other wait and delay statements. So to synchronize this initial block, or to, because this initial block, it happens whatever is written inside the initial block, or the initial block is activated at 0 nanosecond. Okay, but if you want to do some kind of activity or in order to synchronize, then it depends on the delay. I will show you one example what exactly this statements is saying. Okay, and what does this means? This simulator executes the initial block until the execution comes to delay operator. Okay, I will give one example. Then Verilog guarantees that execution of any procedural block. Okay, see, procedural block are 2 types. Okay, one is always and one is initial. So Verilog guarantees that execution of any initial block, which includes initial and always block, will stop at a wait condition till it gets satisfied. Okay, that you have to remember this line. And in one example, this statement, this first statement and this second statement, okay, you will get conceptually. Verilog also guarantee that all initial block starts before any always block. For example, in your design there is an initial block and there is a always block. So 2 blocks are there in your design. So what happens, what Verilog does, first initial block is executed, then always block is executed. The first one will be executed is initial, then it is always. Okay, it is and why this initial is used? This initial is typically used for initialization, not exactly initialization, but because next you will learn that this initial block is not synthesizable. Okay, in next slide I will explain that one. So you need to remember that it is typically used for initialization and monitoring waveforms. Normally initial block, normally we do not use initial block for design, but it is mostly used for testing purpose, right? Writing test benches. So for monitoring waveforms we use initial block, and for initialization some signals, okay, we use initial block. See, initial block is, if you are designed for ASIC if you're designing ASIC, then initial block is not synthesizable. That you have to remember. Okay, in some of the books or in some of the documents, it will be written that initial blocks are not synthesizable, but that is not exactly correct actually. Initial block is synthesizable for some FPGA. If you are doing for FPGA, if it is for FPGA design, then this initial block is synthesizable, but not for all the FPGA. Some FPGA initial block is synthesizable, okay, but not for ASIC. Not even for single ASIC also it is synthesizable. Some FPGA, what they do, they preset the registers when loaded. Okay, means it will be assigned when it is loaded, when the code is loaded. So what the FPGA does, the registers are preset to some known values, and some often set all internal register to 0. So all the that means whenever the signal is loaded inside the FPGA, some of the FPGA, what they do, they set all the internal register to some known value, else because some of the range value are what happens, some of the range value are initialized to unknown. So if you do not initialize some register value, by default it takes unknown value. Okay, so it is better to initialize those register, okay, during uploading the code. So this is what happens in FPGA. Okay, some of the FPGA using initial can be avoided. And how the initial blocks are not synthesizable, then why we should include initial block? Is there any way that initial can be avoided? Yes, initial can be avoided if you use explicit reset. For example, you remember that during a designing of a sequential design, what we write? If reset signal comes, then what we do? Then we some raise, for example count equal to 4 bit or 0. So we are initializing this variable, right? So why to use this initial block to initialize variables when initial blocks are not synthesizable? So if we want to avoid initial block, then we can use this explicit reset signal, which gives you a option to put register in a known state. Because if I write if I write like this, if reset, so if reset comes, then here I am initializing my register value to some known value. So this can be done. Instead of using initial block which is not synthesizable, I can do this one, I can do this part. Okay, this can be done. Okay, so it is mostly used in test benches and simulation, because this initial block are not synthesizable. So mostly then why we should use initial block, where it is used actually? If you ask yourself why we should use initial block if it is not synthesizable, it is mostly used in test benches and simulation. You will get to know in one example. I will show you that it is mostly, you need to remember this, that this initial block is used in test benches and for simulation purpose. Okay, it is used to set the power on value of structures such as RAM, ROM and register. So here you can see this one, it is written here, it is typically used for initialization. This initial block is typically used for initialization. So what we are initializing actually? See, it is used to set the power on value. So when your device is power on, so some of the RAMs, ROMs and registers, they are initialized to a signal, to a known value. Okay, because as I mentioned already that it is better to have a known value for your signal, okay, than to have a unknown value. Okay, if it is unknown value, then we may get weird behavior of your design. So this initial is not synthesizable, but using this explicit way of using reset, we can initialize some of our signals or registers. Okay, so that your design won't give you weird behavior. Okay, that you have to remember. So this is one example, like initial, begin, end. So here I have two statements are there. So I have used begin and end, because I said that if there is single statement, then no need to give begin and end. Okay, inside initial block. So it is clock. So we'll start execution at time equal to 0 before any always block. So Verilog here I mentioned that This Verilog also guarantee that all initial block starts before any always block. Okay. So here we'll start execution at time 0 before any always block, these lines. Then changes a value of clock to 0, the clock will be 0. Then in equal to 4 bit 001, so mean 0001. So changes value of IN to some known value, that is 0001. Then hash 1000, this is a delay. It pauses execution for this one, execution for 100 time units. Okay. And do you remember this this statement here, this statement? What it is written here, the only way to synchronize are hash delays and other wait and delay statements. The simulator executes the initial block until the execution comes to a delay operator. This means, this line means this one. See, if there is no delay element, then at 0 time step, this will be evaluated. The whole, whatever the statements are there inside the initial block, it will be evaluated. But what happens, this delay statement comes here. Okay, hash 1000. So it has to pause, that execution for 1000 time step units now. Then once it is over, what it will do, it will stop the execution. This one, this is a predefined task, you can say, or function, you can say this one, or the $stop. So this is a stop execution. Once this will be done, then stop it, because inside the initial block it happens sequentially. Things are happen sequentially. So first this one will be executed, then this one, then this one, then this one. So after 1000 time units stop, it will be, the execution will be done. Okay. See, while the above initial block yields, the other blocks start execution. For example, at 0 time step this happens, a clock equal to 1 bit 0, then in equal to 4 bit 0001. But if there is another block, if there is another initial block in your design, that what happens? Then during this time, during this 1000 delay unit, 1000 time units, it will be transferred. It will be transferred to another initial block. Okay. So this initial block will be executed. See, if there are two initial blocks are there in your design, then there is no guarantee that which initial block will be executed first. But here we have considered, let's consider that this initial block is executed first. So during these time steps, this 1000 delay waiting time, so this initial block will be executed. Okay, this initial begin, then hash 1 temp equal to in. So whenever in value changes here, in equal to 4 bit 0001, this in value will be assigned to temp after one time step. So pauses for one time unit, then assigns temp end. Okay. The assignment above happens, this assignment means this assignment happens while the initial block will be waiting for 1000 time steps, because already I mentioned during this 1000 time step delay, what it will do, what the simulator will do, better it should execute another initial block. Okay. And it also depends on the simulator, not in all the simulator this happens, but possibility is there that in this way the simulator might be working. Okay. Then if there is a, suppose these two lines are there in your code, always @in temp equal to in. So always @ means what? This is a halting one, right? This @. So this is a sensitivity list. So if there is a changes in, then this in will be assigned to temp. So do you remember this statement? There was a statement. See what it is written here. The simulator executes. The only way to synchronize are hash delays and other wait and delay statements. Okay. How the synchronization is done here? The initial, always, all this procedural block by this one, this delay statement. This is a timing control statement. This is because here if there is, we are delaying the signal, because the assignment is not done unless and until there is a changes in. If there is a changes in, it will be waiting for any changes in this signal, so it is delaying. So this statement, this assignment is being delayed by this signal, this in signal. So this is clearly a delay statement. Okay. So when there is changes in, that in will be assigned to temp. So it will do assignment when in changes and the first initial block starts waiting. So because during that 1000, because everything happens, this always initial, all these blocks, procedural block, they starts means they are evaluated at 0 time step. But what happens in this case, it is waiting for 1000 time step. So during that waiting period, all these things happens, means this second initial block is executed, then this always block is executed. Okay, so here it is written, it will do assignment when in changes and the first initial block starts waiting. The always block will be executed at the same cycle 0 when the signal gets changed, because when in changes means at 0 time step only this in got this in signal got this 0001. So that one change, so 0 time step only this always block will be evaluated, it will be activated, and this in will be assigned to temp. So clearly it is synchronizing between different procedural block and with this delay delay statement. Okay, either by this 1 minute, either by this 1000 this delay statement, like this delay statements, or this delay, or by this at the rate in. Okay, so here one example is there, module stimulus. This is a test bench. So this is initial, the only one statement inside the initial block, so I have not included this begin and end. Okay, the single statement need not to be grouped. Okay, so initial, begin, I have two statements, so I have written begin and end. So all these things happen at 0 nanosecond or 0 time, let's say 0 nanosecond. Okay, so here there are four initial block. So this initial block, initial, begin and end, do you remember this one? This what I said in this slide, the tip initial is used for initialization, that I explained how the initialization is done. Then monitoring waveforms. So normally this initial is not synthesizable, so we use initial block for test bench writing. So this, you remember this word, monitoring waveforms. Okay, so this monitoring waveform, see here, initial, begin, end. So this is monitoring, we are monitoring the waveform here in test bench. So this is initial is used for this monitoring waveform. This is monitor, this is a task. This is a task in Verilog. Okay, this dollar monitor is okay. So it is, and I will explain this one not in this lesson, in my test bench lesson. Okay, so total four number of initial block is there inside this module. So first one is this one. So at 0 time step, what happens at sim time equal to 0, a equal to a is not changing, a is changing after 5 nanoseconds. So a is unknown value, b is unknown value, c is 0, but 0 nanosecond the c got 0. So c got 0 here, c is 0 now. X is unknown value, y is unknown value, because it is not changing at all. So after 5 nanosecond, what happens? C will be 0, 5 nanosecond, a equal to 1, but b is not changing, b will change after 25 nanosecond. So b will be unknown, c, x unknown, then x will be unknown, y is unknown, because x and y changing after 10 and 25 nanosecond. So next 10 nanosecond, what happens? You already got c equal to 0, you got a equal to 1, you will got, because it is 5 nanosecond. So a equal to 1 you will get. Then b is also not changing, because b will change after 25 nanosecond. Okay, x equal to 0 here, x equal to 0, this one is, I'm sorry, this not this one, this is b equal to 10. In 10, a equal to 1, here a equal to 1 we got, because it is 5, it is after 10 nanosecond. Then b will change after 25 nanosecond, so b will get unknown value. C equal to 0, because already c equal to 0 at 0 nanosecond. X equal to 0, because at 10 nanosecond it is changing, x equal to 0, and y has not changed, so y will get unknown value. But after 30 nanosecond, what will change? Already you will get c equal to 0, you got c equal to 0, a equal to 1 you got, a equal to 1 you will get. After then 25 it is changing already, so after 30 definitely you will get b equal to 0. Then x equal to 0 you will get, x equal to 0, and y equal to 1, y equal to, it is showing unknown value, because it is sequential design, right? So 10 plus 25, after 35 second only, nanosecond only, y will be changed. So y is still unknown value, because see, after 30 this b is 0, after 30 b equal to 0 you got here, but after 35 y will change, 10 plus 20, it is sequential it is happens, okay, it happens, okay. So y is still 0. So at x equal to, sorry, at time step time equal to 35, everything changes. You will get a equal to 1, b equal to 0, c equal to 0, x equal to 0, y equal to 1. So this is how this this initial block evaluates sequentially, and how it is used for monitoring. If you write the same code in your using any simulator like ModelSync or Xilinx, you will get this result, okay. So it is all about initial block, and I explained in details. And thank you so much for watching, and if you liked the content, then please do like, comment and subscribe this channel. Thank you so much.